What up, Game Spencer here, and welcome to my predictions on the winners of the Game Awards 2025. So, I do plan to make a reaction video of me just watching the Game Awards, and along the way, I thought it would be fun to make a prediction list and just see how much I get right. So, that's what I'll be doing here in this video. But before we do that, I do want to make a few disclaimers here. Number one, I don't plan on voting because I feel like with many people, we probably haven't played every game in all the categories here. If anything, I have seen the nominees for the categories. The best one I can maybe give a take on is the best mobile game, but everything else, I definitely did not play for this year. So for me, it just doesn't feel right for me to vote because I just only played like a few games, and I think, like I said, probably most people haven't played every game here too. So yeah, in a way, it does feel kind of like pointless just because it's going to be, I would say for the most part, maybe a popularity contest. But even if every vote is taken seriously, I don't think it really matters just because our votes, like the public fan votes here, are going to be 10% of the entirety of the votes, whereas the voting jury will have 90%. And who are the voting jury here? It is pretty much your news outlets, like I guess the most recognizable one for us gamers here would be IGN. You have other ones like GameSpot, even some content creator type channels like Kind of Funny and Easy Allies. But yeah, for the most part, it is just news outlets and they take up 90% of the votes. And because of that, like, I feel like my vote is kind of pointless because that is such a big difference. Maybe they could have like bump up the fan voting at the very least. But also that goes into my second disclaimer here, where because they do take up 90% of the votes, I am going to base my predictions on the jury over here and not the fan voting. Unless like it's the player's voice, then yeah, I'll definitely base it on the fan voting. So with that said, let's get to my predictions on who I think will win in each of these categories, starting off with the big one, Game of the Year. So we got Clear Obscure, Expedition 33, Dead Stranding 2 on the Beach, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silk Song, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So, yeah, um, my prediction here, my first one, I do think, based on the amount of like coverage that I've seen, the amount of like positivity that I've seen from like players and critics alike, I do think that not only will this game win Game of the Year, but also in the other categories that it'll be featured in. Pretty much, they'll like sweep the Game Awards here, and that is Clear Obscure Expedition 33. So yeah, that's my first prediction. I have seen this game like so much ever since it was launched. I have seen this game a little bit, like maybe a few weeks before it was released, maybe sometime before. But yeah, like ever since it was launched, man, it was like just nonstop, like people talking about it, people on YouTube, on social media, everywhere else. I feel like I can't escape this game when it was like first released. Like just the amount of people just talking about it and just people saying how good it is. Like maybe there was like maybe one bad thing that I've seen from the game, where I think there's like this one platforming area, maybe, but for the most part, it's been like really positive. And yeah, if you couldn't tell by now, I have not played this game. I do plan on playing this game if it does win Game of the Year, because one thing I do want to try to do for this channel, like a new thing here, is to play the Game of the Year of each year of the Game Awards here. So yeah, if this game does win, I might play it here on this channel. Now, as for the other nominees in this category, I've pretty much heard nothing but good things about all these other games here. I would maybe imagine Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 would be in second place, followed by maybe Death Stranding 2 on the beach and Hades 2. Um, I will say though, I haven't heard much about these games, but it could also just be that the algorithm on social media just hasn't been, you know, featuring these games for me. But I would imagine they would also maybe be up there, like maybe in third place, tied up. Um, Donkey Kong Bonanza is interesting because I've also heard nothing but good things about this game, but I never thought it would go Game of the Year, so it must be that good. So yeah, good for them, man. That's really cool to see. Yeah, the only game I can maybe speak on is Hollow Knight Silk Song. I feel like the fans would maybe make this go like way up there. Jury wise, maybe more on the middle end. Not sure about higher or lower. I feel like the safe would be around the middle. Not sure if more than Hades 2 and Death Stranding 2. But yeah, yeah, this game here was really fun to play. I have gone pretty far in the game, have not finished it, but overall it's been a fun experience. But I think overall, I do think Expedition 33 will probably win the entirety of the game of the year. But even if I base my reasoning on the jury votes, even if it was like entirely fan voted, I do think Expedition 33 will probably still win. And if you have both together, like I feel like overall, yeah, like this game just obviously would probably win in my opinion. But yeah, like I said, it is just based on my predictions on the voting jury and also a bit of like what I've seen online, as you saw with my reasoning for this game over here winning. But yeah, that's pretty much a taste of that. And yeah, we'll see if I can maybe predict the other games well, in a sense. So yeah, next up, we got Best Game Direction. Okay, same games for the most part, but this time we got Ghost of Yotei and Split Fiction. I mean, in my opinion, I feel like it will come down to either Expedition 33 or Split Fiction. I would say Split Fiction for their cooperative gameplay. They're also behind It Takes Two and A Way Out, and those are very much unique directions for a game. But also, I feel like, um, based on what I've seen on this game, people have been praising their turn-based combat, like especially with their like pairing system, which I feel like maybe for most people might feel innovative, even though it's been like in other games like the Mario RPGs and stuff or the South Park games. But yeah, I feel like for most people, they probably like seeing this because it looks like maybe a turn-based Final Fantasy game, but with a I guess, innovative turn-based gameplay if it was a Final Fantasy game with their pairing system and all that. But yeah, that's really the only one I've seen when it comes to the game. Like that is turn-based and it's got a parry system. But yeah, I'm pretty much split on both. No pun intended for Split Fiction. I would say if I want to be safe about it, probably Expedition 33, but I wouldn't be surprised if Split Fiction would win. Now, if I had to choose one though, I mean, if we're just basing entirely on game direction, probably Split Fiction. All right, the next one here is Best Narrative. Ooh. I mean, same games, but now we got Silent Hill F. I would imagine Clear Obscure. Heard nothing but good things about the story. Feel like I've heard about the story the most from this game here, so yeah, probably this game. Next up, we got the Best Art Direction. Okay. Same games that I mentioned before. Um, Dang. I mean, I have seen a bit of Ghost of Tsushima, and that game looked really good with their environment and stuff. I'm not sure about Ghost of Yotei, I haven't seen much about that, but if it's anything like that, I would maybe give my votes on Yotei. But, I mean, I've also seen some good stuff from Clear Obscure as well. I would maybe say Clear Obscure if I really want a safe answer. But one thing I will say is that with Death Stranding in general, like they do a very good job of like just portraying the actors in the game. I mean, dude, Norman Reedus exactly the same as in real life. But yeah, I do think um, Clear Obscure will probably win this category. Anyways, next up, best score and music. Okay, we got some other games here as well with well, actually, I guess it's the same games I mentioned before. Never mind. It's just the names here were different, not like the game name. I mean, I haven't heard much about the music in these games, even for like Hollow Knight Silk Song. Like for me, I guess I'm more focused on just the combat that I maybe haven't noticed. So I feel like even if I play this game a lot, I feel like I can't really tell over here. But I have heard a bit of Clear Obscure with their main theme. I think where they in the lyrics they also say like Clear Obscure as well, like in a opera voice. But yeah, this one sounded very good to me. I would imagine maybe this game would win as well. But yeah, I do think this game will probably sweep, like I said, the whole Game Awards here. Except for the game direction because I gave that Split Fiction. But yeah, moving on, we got Best Audio Design. Thing, another one that I feel like I can't answer well. I mean, once again, safe answer, Clear Obscure. But yeah, I can't tell with the other games over here. I would say this game as well. Yeah, like I said, I have not played most of these games here. Pretty much, I'm gonna have a uninformed opinion, but I'm just gonna try my best to, guess and base it on what I see online, and also the jury votes as well, unlike what I think they might vote on. But yeah, moving on, we got best performance. Okay, we got Ben Starr, Charlie Cox, and also Jennifer English, all three of them from Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, which is very impressive on its own. We got Erika Ishii from Ghost of Yotei, Konatsu Kato from Silent Hill F, and Troy Baker, the guy in like every game from Indiana Jones and The Great Circle. But yeah, I mean, that's, like I said, impressive to see three VAs from Clear Obscure. I know Ben Starr from Final Fantasy 16. He played the main character Clive, I think his name was. Charlie Cox, of course, he was Daredevil. And Jennifer English, I only know her from Wuthering Waves as Carlotta. I think that's her VA there. But yeah, I assume it will probably be one of these three. I mean, they already have half of the nominee spots, so I mean, if you just even roll the dice on like who might win, they got a 50-50 chance. But yeah, I would assume it will be one of the clear obscure guys. I've heard like very great things about their characters, and I assume their performance really help shape those characters. So if I had to guess, I mean, I don't know. I don't know their characters, so I haven't played their game yet. I'm gonna go with Jennifer English just because she's Carlotta. She has a very nice voice from Wuthering Waves, so I'll go with her. All right, moving on. We got innovation and accessibility. Oh, we got Assassin's Creed Shadows, Adamfall, Doom: The Dark Ages, EA Sports FC 26, and South of Midnight. I mean, I haven't really seen anything about the games. The only one I know is The Last of Us 2. I've seen like what they did when it comes to accessibility, and I thought they did a very great job with that, where pretty much anyone I feel like can play that game. I haven't seen any from these games here, so this is pretty much a gamble for me. I mean, if I had to guess, yeah, probably I'm just gonna guess Assassin's Creed Shadows because I don't know about any of these. It's just pretty much a gamble for me. Yeah, I just never seen any like accessibility gameplay when it comes to these games. I just never heard any, I guess, news about that on like what they offer. So yeah, just pretty much a guess. Um, anyways, next up here, games for impact. Okay, so this is one of your like messaging games. Like they're gonna leave like a big message at the end. I mean, I don't know any of these. When it comes to their impact, I'm just gonna choose like the one that looks like it'll be the most emotional one, I guess. I don't know. I mean, a Despelote looks like it might be a very emotional game. Maybe Consume Me. No, you know what? I'm gonna say Consume Me. I don't know why. Just if I were to guess from the images here, Consume Me looks like it'll be like a happy story at first, and then it will turn sad. The same thing with Despolite. I'm gonna say Consume Me might win. All right, let's go move on to best ongoing. Final Fantasy XIV, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, Marvel Rivals, and No Man's Sky. You know, I feel like I mean Fortnite feels like a good choice. I feel like for the longest time they've been some of the most like consistent in being like I guess always good, at least in my opinion from like what I've seen. Um, Marvel Rivals though seems like a good choice as well. Helldivers, I mean, I feel like yeah, I've been hearing less about this game over time, but when this game was first launched, definitely this game was like pretty much a very big thing. But I'm not sure about like nowadays. It's got to be best ongoing. Final Fantasy 14. I'm not sure. I know this game is very good, but I know like from like what I've heard from the recent expansions, it's been kind of bad. No Man's Sky, I feel like it's been always good, but like never in the news that much for me that I've seen. I feel like I'm kind of split between maybe these three choices. I think I'll put my vote in Marvel Rivals. All right, moving on. Next one is Best Community Support. Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, No Man's Sky. Okay, I guess maybe this is where more of that like backlash I've seen from like 14, Final Fantasy 14 would come in. Maybe it's more on that. I know with Helldivers, they had some controversies with their PSN requirements. I think No Man's Sky and Fortnite are safe. I heard good things about Baldur's Gate 3 though, so um the thing is I don't know much about the community support from Fortnite and No Man's Sky. I've maybe heard things from Baldur's Gate 3, so I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 also won Game of the Year, so I feel like they have a good chance of winning here because I assume they do everything good in every category. All right, let me go for Baldur's Gate 3. Okay, the next one here is Best Independent Game. So indie game. Absolem, Ball Pit, Blueprints, Clear Obscure, Expedition 33, Hades 2, and Hollow Knight Silk Song. I feel like it would be between Hollow Knight Silk Song and Clear Obscure Expedition 33, but because I do think it might sweep, I think it'll be Expedition 33. If this was a fan vote, I can definitely see Hollow Knight Silk Song be up there, but even so, I do think this would still win though. Anyways, next up is Best Debut Indie Game. I mean, you know what? Dispatch is pretty good. I've seen like so many clips of that game. Not much on Blueprints and Despolite. I mean, the thing is, even with like Dispatch as of recent, I've seen like so many like good things about it. I still think Expedition 33 probably will still win. Just based on like also what I've seen from it being debuted and released at launch. Alright, next one here is hey, best mobile game. This is my category. Here we go. Because I played over half of these games here. So we got Destiny Rising, Persona 5 The Phantom X, Sonic Rumble, Uma Musume, or I guess the way that Jeff Keighley would say it, it's Uma Musume, Pretty Derby, and Wuthering Waves. But yeah, like I said, I have played at least half of these games here. I played Sonic Rumble, Uma Musume, and Wuthering Waves. I have not played Destiny Rising and Persona 5 The Phantom X. I have not heard much about these games other than its existence. I have played Sonic Rumble because, I wanted to try it out. It's pretty much Sonic but Fall Guys. I think it's good, but I don't think it's going to be as big of a choice compared to Uma Musume and Wuthering Waves. Now, for me, if I had to vote, because I've, played most of these games, I would say, at least half, I feel like I am confident in saying that my vote would go to Wuthering Waves, but I do think overall, Umumusume probably will win just because of its popularity. If it was a fan vote thing, I do think Umumusume will definitely win. But taking in the jury stuff, I mean, I feel like I've seen, like after the whole Umumusume, launch, I feel like I've not seen much about it. I feel like I've seen Wuthering Waves from time to time when it comes to like the news outlets. Like especially with Jeff Keighley, man, he's the one that showed off the Cardothea showcase, and that was like pretty big. So yeah, I mean, I think Wuthering Waves has a chance to win if it was based on a jury vote, but I don't know, man. Maybe that 10% fan vote. Just imagine that carries Umumusume. um, but yeah, definitely if it was fan voted, Umumusume would win. But I would rather Wuthering Waves win because, in my opinion, with the gameplay of these two games here, they're pretty much the top two for the mobile game to win. But yeah, Uma Musume, the gameplay, I like it, but like it's not as like interactive as like Wuthering Waves. And I feel like Wuthering Waves just feels more of a game compared to Uma Musume. Uma Musume, I think it's better as like a franchise. You got your game, your anime, uh, some real life horse racing, like they would probably reference Uma Musume for the most part, maybe. But yeah, I feel like culturally, Uma Musume wins. But if we're really talking about just games in general, I think Wuthering Waves should win. But yeah, I mean, it really depends on like how this goes with the votes. I'm really not sure. Um, I'm gonna go with Wuthering Waves. I'll take the risk, but I think Umumusumi will win. But I'll put the predictions into Wuthering Waves. I think it has a chance. Yeah, this votes over here. Like even though like I have played half of these games, like I'm still feeling a bit nervous because I do feel like Umumusumi might win, even though I chose Wuthering Waves. Anyways, next up we got Best VR/AR. Alien Rogue Incursion, Arcane Age, Ghost Town, Marvel's Deadpool VR, The Midnight Walk. I have not seen three of these games before. I've seen like a trailer when they first revealed Deadpool. I have heard about the Alien VR game. I mean, I'm not sure what I would choose because like I've never seen really much gameplay from these games. Maybe only from Deadpool. I've only just heard about the Alien game. Um, I mean, I'm not sure if this is like a combat game because I do see a guy with a gun here. If it's like Alien Isolation, I can maybe see this being better. But yeah, I'm not sure, man. This is kind of hard for me to choose. You know what? I'll choose the Alien Rogue Incursion. If it's anything like Alien Isolation but in VR, I feel like that would be pretty cool to to see. I think that'll be pretty fun. Alrighty, let's go and move on to the next category. We got the best action game: Battlefield 6, Doom: The Dark Ages, Hades 2, Ninja Gaiden 4, and Shinobi: Art of Vengeance. I have never heard of this last game over here, but I have heard of the other ones. Um, I am not sure what I think would win. I've heard good things about Battlefield 6, even like from like what I've seen. It looks like a return to form to like the old school like Battlefield 3 and 4. I feel like we're like the peak of Battlefield, and this kind of looks like it. I feel like Doom: The Dark Ages, I've heard I think good things, as well as Hades. Not sure about Ninja Gaiden, but I assume it's good. Yeah, this might also be like a gamble for me. I mean, I would maybe say, dang, I'm gonna put my vote in either Doom or Hades. I'm gonna pick Hades. I don't know, man. Just that Game of the Year thing. I think they won that, or at least got a nomination one time. I feel like Hades might win. A part of me does want to choose Doom just because it is just full on action, run and gun, rip and tear. But I don't know, man. For some reason, I have a feeling it might be Hades just because it's got that Game of the Year nomination. But yeah, I'm sure, like I said, it's just uninformed guesses over here. Anyways, next up, best action adventure. Okay, pretty much the same games that we saw before. Action adventure. I'm not sure. I feel like they're all good choices. I feel like I haven't heard much about Death Stranding 2 and Ghost of Yotei when it comes to that. I think I feel like there's been more positive things when it comes to the latter three games over here. If I had to choose one, probably Split Fiction. You know what? I think I changed my mind. I thought about it for a bit. If Ghost of Yotei kind of plays like Ghost of Tsushima with the action and adventure part of it, I feel like it might come down actually to Ghost of Yotei and Indiana Jones if we're just basing it on action and adventure. I would say Ghost of Yotei. Next up here is Best RPG: Avowed. I mean, come on. It's here. I mean, I don't think I need to read all the others. Expedition 33, man. I think it pretty much uh, beats everyone else over here. Okay, moving on. We got the best fighting game: 2XKO, Capcom Fighting Collection 2, Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, and Virtua Fighter 5 Revo World Stage. I would not know because I don't really play fighting games a lot. I've only played like a few in my life. You can probably count with your fingers on like the amount of times I played fighting games. I feel like I played more platform fighters than actual traditional fighting games. um I'm gonna guess it's gonna be the Capcom Fighting Collection 2. I chose this one because I think I do remember when they announced this one time and people got like really excited for it, so yeah, I'm just gonna choose this one here. Anyways, next up, we got Best Family Game: Donkey Kong Bonanza, Lego Party, Lego Voyagers, Mario Kart World, that's pretty big, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and Split Fiction. I feel like it's gonna come down to Donkey Kong Bonanza Mario Kart World, and Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Are these two, is there like a racing category too, or like a sports category? I do wonder if these two will appear again. I kind of forgot. I have seen the nominees before, but it's been a while. Um, but yeah, I do think it might come down to these three games over here. I mean, popularity wise, it could be Mario Kart World, but I don't know, man. I mean, you got Donkey Kong with the Game of the Year as well, but like because it's family game, I imagine that that means multiplayer as well, that you can play with your friends. I think this is more of a single player game. At least these two, you get to play multiplayer with your friends, maybe on the couch as well. I mean, that's also what Split Fiction is too, but I feel like this one covers more like with the players and just socializing in general. I'm gonna go with Mario Kart World, but if Sonic Racing Crossroads win, I would not be surprised. But I feel like Mario Kart World, I think, might win. I do want to play Sonic Racing Crossroads because they have some characters that I do like, with the crossover characters. I really want to play this game, but I'm still waiting for a better deal when it goes on a discount. Anyways, next up, Best Sim slash Strategy. Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles. I mean, if I were to vote, that would be my choice because that's like, I think the only game I played in this list here. And also, this is like my favorite, um, like Final Fantasy game of all time. Like, it's really, really good. And I did just finish up, like, on my own time, the whole game. I'm still, like, in the process of the Let's Play, but I did finish it in terms of recording. But yeah, we got that game, Jurassic World Evolution 3, Sid Meier's Civilization 7. I think this might also be a winner too, because I've always heard good things about the Sid Meier's, the Civilization games as well. Tempest Rising: The Altars 2-Point Museum. I think it might come down to Sid Meier and Final Fantasy. I think Sid Meier might win though, because I just feel like that's a bigger and better strategy game from what I've seen. But yeah, this is definitely would be my vote though. That's kind of interesting because it's a remaster and it got a nomination, which is kind of interesting. I know that also happened too with like the Resident Evil games as well, because they got remastered and they got nominations. But yeah, it is interesting to see that. All right, the next one here is Best Sports Racing Game. Oh yeah, here we go. That's what I thought might reappear here. We got EA Sports FC 26, F1 25, Mario Kart World Rematch, and Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I feel like normally I would see like in the previous years just like a bunch of sports games and then like maybe Forza Horizon or just a Forza game in general. But now we're getting more of a variety here. It's really cool to see Mario Kart World and Sonic Racing Cross Worlds be in this category. It's just I feel like I normally don't see, I guess, the more cartoony games, like normally the more serious kind. Like, yeah, mostly sports and like maybe one or two racing games that are like realistic. I do think it might come down to Mario Kart World and Sonic Racing Cross Worlds here. Oh man. You know what? I did give Mario Kart World the family game. I think Sonic Racing Cross Worlds might take the sports and racing. At least for me, I feel like that might be the case. I'm gonna go with Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I wouldn't be surprised if Mario Kart World won, but I think I just want to give Sonic Racing Cross Worlds the votes here for like the jury vote. I feel like this might win. There might be like a surprise thing. Anyways, moving on. Best multiplayer: Arc Raiders Battlefield 6, Elden Ring Night Rain Peak, and Split Fiction. Maybe because of like recency bias, I've seen like so much of Arc Raiders, so I think Arc Raiders might win. It's just that based on my experience from like what I've seen online, I feel like I've been seeing more positivity when it comes to Arc Raiders compared to the other games, but like I said, it might just be some recency bias because it is a newer game. Anyways, moving on, we got the best adaptation. We got a Minecraft movie, Devil May Cry, Splinter Cell, Death Watch, The Last of Us Season 2, and Until Dawn. Well, I did see this before the nominations for the best adaptation, and it did piss me off a bit because they forgot to put the Sonic 3 movie, which I made sure to check like for last year's nominations for this to see if it was there, but it wasn't. Instead, they actually had the Knuckles show on there, which I thought was like, probably the worst of the Sonic like movie series. Like I guess when it comes to the universe, because it felt like it was focused more on Wade than Knuckles. Like it was more of a human show than your furry animal show. But yeah, I did not like that show that much. On the other hand, the Sonic 3 movie, such a good movie. It was such a very, very good movie. Unfortunately, it seems like they forgot it, so yeah, if it was there, I feel like the Sonic 3 movie would be tied between a Minecraft movie and The Last of Us Season 2. And knowing the jury, they probably prefer The Last of Us Season 2. I think if it was a fan vote, it would be a Minecraft movie. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the like the theaters just being like filled with like fans, like even like reciting the memes, like the chicken jockey and all that. I feel like the Minecraft movie would win if the fans were to say something about that, but yeah, knowing the jury, I feel like they prefer the more like Hollywood meaningful type stuff, and I feel like The Last of Us season 2 is pretty much that. It even got like a bunch of like rewards, I think from the Emmys or something like that. So yeah, I feel like this is their thing, you know? I feel like they prefer the more Hollywood type shows and movies, so this would probably win. But yeah, I guess for me personally, Sonic 3 would be my vote. I have watched the shows that I mentioned in movies like the Minecraft and The Last of Us. I feel like the Sonic 3 movie, in my opinion, is the best one, but of course, it's going to be different from each people, you know? I know with Minecraft, they probably preferred that with the fans. Anyways, yeah, moving on. The most anticipated game. I mean, come on, man. I feel like you don't need to be a gamer to know like what's gonna be the winner here. Grand Theft Auto 6, man. Like, it doesn't compare like with the other games here. This one is like the most look forward to game of all time right now. Like, if this game gets delayed next year, this would also still win for next year's most anticipated game. Anyways, moving on. Content Creator of the Year. That's me. We got Kadrel, Kai Cenat, Moist Critical, Sakura Miko, and the Burnt Peanut. Well, I've only, I guess, know two of these guys. I've maybe heard about Sakura Miko. I have heard of Kai Cenat and Moist Critical. If I had to choose, I have seen some very impressive things from Kai Cenat with his set. He's pretty much the real life iCarly. So I would give my vote to Kai Cenat. So yeah, Kai Cenat or Kai Cenat, I forgot how you pronounce his name, but yeah, he's been very impressive, man. I think him and Speed are like my top two when it comes to like the most innovative streamers, like the most like out there to me. But yeah, I wish Speed was here. If there was Speed, maybe I might choose him. Maybe. Even though like for me, I'm not the biggest fan of him. I just feel like he does bark a lot, but he does I feel like a lot when it comes to like traveling around the world. I guess this has to be related to the gaming, right? This has to be related to gaming. I know Kai Cenat has been doing a lot of like gaming, like with Elden Ring and stuff. Okay, yeah, I think Kai Cenat would be for me. Anyways, moving on. Best esports game: Counter Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends, Bang Bang, and Valorant. Um, I mean, I don't really follow the esports scene. Um, I would maybe guess it's either Counter Strike 2 or League of Legends, maybe. I'm gonna put I mean, I think I'm gonna put League of Legends. Okay, I think we're almost done here. Next up, best esports athlete. I don't know any of these guys, man. I don't really follow esports. We got Brock, Chovy, Forsaken, Kakeru, Menard, and Zaiwo. Uh, I'm gonna choose. I feel like Chovy. He's got that look of a champion, so I'll choose him. Best esports team. Oh no, Gen G, NRG, Team Falcons, Team Liquid, PH, and Team Vitality. Um, I mean, these guys are they holding a trophy? They're holding a trophy too. Even these guys. This guy's just saying shush. These guys are like in a music album. I mean, I feel like which one is the one I've heard the most about? I guess I'm gonna go with uh, maybe maybe Gen G. Yeah, the IRL categories I'm not gonna be the best at. Um, Next up is oh, player's voice. We're here already. All right, that's the last one, I believe. Yeah, that's the most latest one that they just opened up recently. But I'm not able to, I guess, go into it. It's closed right now. Even this one here. This one opens up pretty much, I think, around when this video is about to go out. But yeah, I don't think I need to see the nominees because I assume Claire Obscure is gonna win. If it doesn't win, like in this first round, I'll be surprised. I might, update you guys on a day of the, the show. So yeah, I'll let you guys know what I choose if Claire Obscure did not like make it here for like the top 5 nominees. So yeah, there you have it, guys. That is my predictions on who I think will win in the Game Awards. Yeah, I do think overall Claire Obscure Expedition 33 will do a sweep, and maybe except for like one category, I feel like there might be at least one category where the game will not win, but I think for the most part, they'll be taking a lot of awards in my opinion. Yeah, and we'll see if the other predictions I made also wins as well. I did my best to guess, based on like what I've seen online, but also I feel like it's got to be based on like what the jury might vote on. But yeah, we'll see. This was more of just a fun video, nothing too serious because, like I said before, I have not played these games for the most part, only like a few. In fact, I just mainly play like older games. Like nowadays, I don't really like to play the newer games because they're usually very expensive. You know, I only buy games that are like cheap or old, or like if they are cheap and new, it will be games like Hollow Knight Silk Song. And also recently, we got the announcement of Hytale, which is going to be like around $20 when that gets released. So yeah, I'm looking forward to like some new games that are like maybe cheap because I don't really buy full price games at around $60 to $70 nowadays. But yeah, can't wait to see what like even the new announcements we'll have with like new games. I feel like that's the main part of the Game Awards for like maybe most people. I know like the award part is not going to be everyone's cup of tea, which is kind of weird, because I do feel like more people tune in for the game announcements rather than the awards, even though it's called the game Awards. I think most people know that, it's pretty much not going to be like what they think might win. But yeah, that's why pretty much the way I did it is going to be based on the jury. Anyway, guys, yeah, that'll be for this video. Next time, we'll see you at the Game Awards. If you decide to watch that, I'll definitely do a offline reaction for me to watch that entire thing. But yeah, we'll see how much I get right, man. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, that'll be for now, guys. That's game.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good